Visiting the Doctor. Part 1. A Day at the Doctor's, From Pain to Peace. It was early Monday morning when I woke up with a sharp pain in my lower back. I had been feeling a little uncomfortable the day before, but I thought it would go away on its own. However, when I tried to get out of bed, the pain shot through my side and made me sit right back down. It was clear I needed to see a doctor. I slowly got dressed, trying not to move too much. Every step I took was difficult, and even tying my shoes felt like a big challenge. I called a taxi because I couldn't walk to the clinic. On the way there, I kept imagining what the doctor would say. Was it something serious? Would I need surgery? I didn't know, but I was nervous. When I arrived, the receptionist greeted me with a smile and asked me to fill out a form. I wrote down my personal details, explained the pain in my back, and waited quietly in the lobby. The waiting room was full of people, some coughing, some looking tired, some reading magazines to pass the time. The walls were painted in light colors, and soft music played in the background, but I was too focused on my pain to relax. After about 30 minutes, a nurse came out and called my name. She led me into a small examination room and asked me to lie down on the bed. She measured my temperature, checked my blood pressure, and asked several questions about my symptoms. She listened carefully and wrote everything down on her clipboard. I appreciated how calm and professional she was. It made me feel safe. Soon after, the doctor entered. He looked friendly and professional. He introduced himself and asked me to describe my pain. I explained everything, when it started, how it felt, and how it was affecting my daily activities. He nodded and asked me to perform a few simple movements so he could observe my reaction. Then he gently touched different parts of my back to see where the pain was worst. After the exam, he explained that I probably had a muscle strain, likely from bad posture or lifting something too heavy without realizing it. He assured me that it was nothing too serious and that I wouldn't need surgery. He prescribed me some pain relievers and muscle relaxants and gave me a list of exercises to help my back heal faster. I felt a huge wave of relief. Before I left, the doctor gave me some tips about taking care of my body, stretching regularly, staying active, and sitting with proper posture. He told me to come back in 2 weeks if the pain didn't improve. I thanked him, picked up my medicine from the pharmacy downstairs, and finally went home feeling hopeful. The taxi ride back felt much shorter. Maybe it was because I wasn't scared anymore. And that's the thing about visiting the doctor. It's not just about fixing the problem. It's about listening to your body, asking for help, and trusting the process. It's about being honest with yourself, facing discomfort, and walking out stronger than you came in. I still stretch every day, take breaks from sitting too long, and remember that morning with a quiet kind of pride. Because I did something simple, but brave. I listened to my body, and I did something about it.
Part 2. My first visit to the clinic, a nervous but helpful experience. I still remember the first time I had to visit a clinic on my own. I was in college, away from home, and I had been feeling sick for almost a week. My throat hurt, I had a high fever, and every muscle in my body ached. I kept hoping it would get better, but one morning I couldn't get out of bed without feeling dizzy. That's when I decided it was time to get medical help. I didn't know where to go, so I searched online for a nearby clinic. I found one with good reviews and called to make an appointment. The receptionist was kind and told me I could come in the afternoon. I wrote down the address, took a deep breath, and tried to prepare myself. I packed my health insurance card, my student ID, and a bottle of water, just in case I had to wait. When I arrived at the clinic, I was surprised at how clean and organized everything looked. The receptionist asked me to fill out a patient form, which included my symptoms, medical history, and contact information. I filled it out carefully and sat in the waiting area. Around me, people of all ages were sitting patiently. Some were scrolling on their phones, some were talking quietly to each other, and others, like me, looked nervous. After a short wait, a nurse called my name and guided me into a small room. She greeted me warmly and started by checking my temperature, blood pressure, and pulse. She also asked questions about my symptoms when they started, how I was feeling, if I had taken any medicine. I told her everything, and she took notes. She smiled and said, "The doctor will see you soon." That sentence made me feel a little better. The doctor walked in shortly after. She was young, calm, and had a gentle smile that made me feel less nervous. She asked me about my symptoms again and did a quick physical examination. She looked into my throat, pressed gently on my neck, and listened to my breathing. Then she said, "It looks like a viral infection, but let's do a blood test just to be sure." My heart jumped. A blood test. I had never done one alone before. The nurse returned with a small kit and took a blood sample. It didn't hurt as much as I expected. Afterward, I was told to wait in the lobby for about 20 minutes until the results came back. I sat there sipping water, watching people come and go. I noticed how everyone at the clinic worked smoothly, from the receptionists to the nurses and the doctors. It felt like a safe space. When the doctor called me back, she told me the test confirmed it was just a strong flu virus. No need for antibiotics, just rest, fluids, and some medicine to reduce the fever. She printed a prescription and told me not to worry, I would feel better in a few days. I thanked her and picked up the medicine on my way home. That night, as I rested in bed, I felt proud. I had taken care of myself, maybe for the first time in my life. Visiting the doctor taught me more than just how to treat a fever. It taught me how to ask for help, how to trust professionals, and how to take responsibility for my health. Now, whenever I feel sick, I don't wait in fear. I make an appointment, I go in, and I take action. It's a small thing, but it makes a big difference, because fear doesn't protect us. Action does.